As we cross two-thirds of the season, I must admit that my optimism for The Last of Us is sadly beginning to wane, as there are far too many details that I cannot overlook. What is probably the easiest aspect to point out in this episode is how much Joel has, shall we say, been toned down. Right at the very beginning, I find it already to be highly questionable that he has to resort to holding innocent strangers at gunpoint just to provide them information and directions, as it is very counterintuitive to his character, where he is known to be self-sufficient and independent. To aggravate things further, even his competency is put into question when he falls asleep when he was supposed to guard the camp, and ends with Ellie taking his post and somehow being able to patrol without being taught in the first place. As Joel and Ellie were navigating around the river, I could not help but feel the lack of suspense in this scene. Given the supposed post-apocalyptic state of the world, the visuals look far too calm and relaxed, with not a single infected in sight, with the only tension build-up where whether the dog will find out about Ellie's condition, which for people who have played the games already know how that scene will turn out. Upon their arrival at Jackson, I believe my thoughts here are also in line with what I criticized in episode 3, which is that the settlement is far too clean, secluded, and perfect given the state of the world. This is further exacerbated when the fight with the bandits in the game has been completely omitted here, removing further suspense and urgency in the supposed harsh and gritty reality. While I do appreciate the added context of Tommy not being able to leave Jackson to bring Ellie to the Fireflies because of Maria's pregnancy, I do feel more salt has been poured to the wounds when Joel had to cry and beg Tommy to take Ellie in his place. This I feel is too huge a deviation to the Joel that was established in the game. Although they did bring back the scene where Joel and Ellie argued because Tommy was supposed to take Ellie in Joel's stead, it was immediately diminished where Joel tells Ellie she has a choice whether he or Tommy takes his place, where Ellie once again asserts her dominance and abruptly tells Joel that they should be on their way. I much prefer the approach of the game, where Joel just asserts himself that he should take responsibility, rather than being scolded by a supposedly inexperienced child. I also found the interaction between Maria and Ellie to be unnecessary, as Maria does not play a huge role in Ellie's life in the first game, because her prime time was simply far too brief. This scene, in my opinion, would have been better for Season 2. To mitigate spoilers for those who have not played the games, I will not elaborate further. As the duo ventured away from Jackson, and eventually making it to the university, it once again felt like a tour rather than a suspenseful experience, and once again does not feel like a post-apocalypse. In the final moments of the episode, I could not help but express disappointment on the execution. Not only was Joel perceived to be incredibly dull-witted and careless, but the way he got stabbed is far more believable in the game than how it was enacted here. Also, the campus itself felt far too empty, which is a far cry to the game, and the bandits were far too few in number, almost as if that there are budget constraints in the show from here on out. This latest episode is what I believe to be the weakest in the series thus far, as the negatives far outweigh the pros. I hope that this is not a sign for things to come in the remainder of the season. What do you guys think of episode 6? Sound off in the comments section below. If you have made it this far, I would like to say thank you, and do subscribe if you have not already, as there's more content to come. Have a great day.